hated doing that to you.
I'm all right.
Mae Mae, I'm sorry about the cops. When we called them last night, I had no...
Of course, I understand.
Is there anything we can do for you?
I don't think so, but thanks anyway.
Well, I hope you don't mind us being here when Sean was here.
I appreciate it.
It's just that I knew how difficult this would be for you.
It is, but it's like a burden eased. A burden I've carried for 20 years.
At least now you know.
Yes.
Mae Mae, I didn't tell Donnelly about the gun we found in the attic. Do you think it's connected to Bradley's death?
How could that possibly be? The family. I'll have to let them know.
That's right. I didn't even think of that.
First person to call is my grandson, Justice, Bradley's son, and Bradley's widow, Isabel, and the rest of the family. I need as many of them here as can make it to lay Bradley finally to rest.
Is there anything that we can do for you? I make some calls for you, help make arrangements for the funeral?
Oh, that's so kind of you, Laura, but your being here is so comforting. But I'll think of it.
Mae Mae, do you mind if I ask one more question?
Well, what is it you'd like to ask?
Luke, can it wait until after she's had a chance to speak to her family?
Oh, sure, of course.
Are you sure we can't do something for you? Make some phone calls, maybe?
Oh, Justice will be here soon. He'll want to notify the family.
Of course.
Is Justice Bradley's only child?
Oh, no. Justice has a sister, Faith. My granddaughter.
What does Justice do?
Well, he's an attorney. He was an assistant DA in Philadelphia. That's where he lives. But he wanted to go into private practice so he could pick his own cases. And he does quite a bit of pro bono work for social action groups.
Like father, like son, huh?
From the very first day he drew breath.
Mae Mae, we're your friends. I hope that there's no doubt about that.
None whatsoever.
Which means that you can trust us.
Oh, I do.
Who were Bradley's enemies?
My goodness, Luke, the list goes on and on. I'll bet at one time or another Bradley found himself in battle with just about everybody in the Port Charles downtown.
Well, a man after my own heart. Does anyone stand out in particular?
Oh, well, they were the banks. He took them on for discriminating against people of color in the area of housing loans, and there was the school board over busing, and not to mention his church and people in his own community.
How did that come about?
Greed and corruption know no color line, Laura. There were people in this neighborhood who had been, were then, and plan to always be in bed with the power structure in Port Charles. And Bradley, he broke up quite a few of those relationships. Consequently, there were folks in his own backyard who had a serious axe to grind with him.
You mentioned death threats. Any idea where they were coming from?
Not specifically.
Who would know, Mae Mae?
Look, I want both of you to stop it right now. I know where you're going with this, and I understand it. Now, I know you're the kind of people who will not turn their head when they see some kind of injustice done. But in this case, I'm asking you, please, don't look.
Why, Mae Mae? What is it that you're so afraid that we're going to see?
I'm telling you the same thing I've been saying since the day Bradley disappeared. Anger and violence beget more anger and violence.
But Mae Mae, if Bradley were murdered, you can't make me believe that you wouldn't want to find some kind of resolution.
If that's what happened, yes, I would want a full investigation. And if they found out who did it, I would want them to pay. But the way Bradley lived is much more important to me than the way he died. I don't want the good things he accomplished obscured and compromised, because that won't bring him back. So please, respect my wishes. And just leave it be.
Okay. Okay, Mary Mae, but the police are not going to back off as easily. Will you promise if you need anything that you'll let us help?
I promise.
What kind of tea is this?
Chamomile.
Doesn't taste like anything.
Honey, it does. It tastes like chamomile.
You got any bourbon to put in it?
Isn't he funny?
Is that why you keep...
Now, Mary Mae, I have my uses.
Speaking of which, how's the little one?
Well, thank you. Now, that's very flattering.
She's just fine. And we've been doing an awful lot of browsing lately. Thinking over how we can look.
Oh, baby, please, no stupid, frilly little bonnet.
Girl!
Granny Mae?
Oh, baby, look at you. Oh.
You know, Justice may have his own idea about finding out what happened to his dad.
Wouldn't you?
Look at his child. Look at him.
You look wonderful.
Luke and Laura, I want you to meet my grandson, Justice.
Justice, I feel as if I know you already.
Laura. Luke.
Justice?
Luke and Laura bought the house on Royal Street last fall. The other day, they were doing some work in the old rose garden, and they found the body. And the coroner's report says it was your father.
Do they know how he died?
A gunshot wound to the head.
Well, just confirms what I've always believed. My father was murdered.